All right. And now we're live, Dana.
Live!
Hooray!
It's alive! Spooky season.
Yep.
Nailed it.
So, for folks who will eventually just pop in, and for the sake of preserving this on video, I jumped ahead 3 screens to the top of this waterfall, where we're supposed to just put the seashell in here and then we leave.
No one's gonna remember.
That's exactly why I said it.
How many seashells does she sell, though? By the seashore.
Just the one this time. Now it's a magic seashell, not just a seashell.
Nice. Ooh, underwater.
It's very cool, actually.
It's like in Star Tropics when you can go in the little...
Yes, it is.
Although, when you do that, you just pop up elsewhere. You don't have this, like, underground cool spot. Do you have to worry about air down here?
No, I do not.
Nice.
Thankfully. It's just like a cool filter over the music.
Love it.
And we're out.
Very on board with the diving mechanic.
It's good. Now, before we dive to the underwater city, which is where we've been trying to get to for a while now, we have a couple of these to do. And that is that we have not, because I'm just so overpowered in the New Game Plus mode, we haven't checked in with Teeks for story time in a while.
Love it. Teeks.
And we have to do some of that.
Hey, Andrew, since you signed on, hello and welcome. Also, I'm just going to point blank ask you if you plan on joining the Habitica quest, because otherwise I'm going to push it live. So.
Also, hi, Andrew.
Also, hi.
So we are going to read the next 3 of these now, and we'll save the rest for spoiler territory. But that's where we're at now. Hi, Jen.
Good. Hello, friends. Hi, friends. Good to see y'all.
Hi, Pete.
I chopped my hair off, everyone. It's a tiny picture on the stream, but you can see it is 7 inches shorter.
Yeah, it looks nice. I really like that there's music for story time.
It's very mystical.
That's
the
right.
Lizard folk
Still had the upper hand.
The Molkin Mage.
Now, we have met one
like
Molkin Mage, right?
Yeah.
The little kid retains the magic here.
Kids always retain magic. That's what they do best.
I love the quiet chanting, the air of victory in the background of this story. When I tell stories, I need a dynamic background track.
Yeah, for real. And like a laugh track.
Can you imagine how good my lectures would be if I could just be like,
And just like summon the chorus. St. Augustine, fun.
Oh man, that sounds rough, Pete.
For fall break.
You guys deserve it. I hope you're having a blast out there.
Say hi to Angie and tell her I miss her.
You know, I think of Angie, actually. Me and her own, weirdly, the same pair of yellow Mario pajama pants.
Adorable.
So whenever I wear them, I think of her now.
Aw. That's a fun connection.
Yeah, because she was wearing them one day, and I was like, wait a minute, how did you get my pants?
Minute.
Right?
I have the same ones.
Yes.
This was like how when I posted that my friend Jess, who might stop by tonight, I don't know, had gotten me the Stardew Valley like coffee mug. I had like 3 other friends message me and be like, I was gonna get you that.
Nice.
Including Karen, who ended up giving me the tea mug instead for Christmas that year.
Yeah, we got coffee mugs from Karen, Addie and I. It was really
you guys
nice.
got the coffee mug, but because she knew I already had the coffee mug, she gave me the tea mug, and I was like, that's perfect. And I try to make sure that I put tea in the tea mug and coffee in the coffee mug.
Nice. We have seen the ending of this story and now get the background filled in. That to make the sky serpent sleep, they carve the mountain into a giant ocarina that plays a lullaby constantly as the wind cycles through the mountain. And it's
Love
at a
that.
scale that only the sky dragon can hear.
Okay, you want to hear one of the most out there theories in Egyptology?
Yes.
I don't know if any of you have ever watched. There is a series, I think it was on Netflix. I don't recommend it because I kind of don't want to give it traction, but it's called The Pyramid Code. And it's basically like all, the people that are like aliens built the pyramids, like that type.
Yeah.
It doesn't go all the way in on it, but like it's clear that a lot of people think like are on that train.
Yes.
And there's a whole section on, well, the Great Pyramid clearly isn't a tomb, it's like a resonance chamber. Basically the same idea that like
Oh, nice.
like it's a musical because of the math of how it's laid out and the chambers
Right.
and that extreme angle of the shaft going down.
Yeah.
People have made all of these connections to astronomy, positions of stars, which is accurate to how it was positioned, but
Yeah. And Pete, it's different music different music for every story from the chat.
Music
Sorry,
of
Dana.
the spheres, essentially.
That's awesome. This story rules, by the way. There was once a botanist who attempted to trick Death by growing a rose so pretty she could not bear to reap it. Also, Death is a she. I also like that. Smitten, Death spiraled into confusion as she appreciated the beauty of life for the very first time.
It's very Neil Gaiman, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you read the Death spinoff. Like they're like one-off graphic novels as opposed to the Sandman series, but like those were always my favorites. Obviously, I was.
What
like,
did
a
you
little
think
goth
of the
kid in high
TV
school.
show for
I
Sandman?
haven't seen it yet.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna
Haven't
say
had a chance.
nothing then. Except that you should.
Yeah.
You should see it.
I'd like to see it because I loved Death. I used to do the little like swirl under my eye with my eyeliner in high school. I loved
Nice.
her. And she would the plot of the two spin-offs, like there's a thing where like one day every century she takes human form so she can like better
Yes.
appreciate life.
They
and
depict that day in the show, actually.
it's so good because she's like so chipper and adorable, and people are like, oh, I thought you'd be kind of like depressing like guy with a scythe, right?
Right.
And she's like, have you ever had a hot dog? They're incredible.
Here, Death, using wicked magic, she turned the flower into something even more beautiful, but cursed. The vampire rose. A thing of beckoning beauty, compelling all who lay eyes upon it to willingly take part in their own corruption. Rumors of the rose reached all corners of the world, carrying a simple promise. Few could resist it, eternal life, provided they could take it. Despite the elation offered by the initial touch, the price became apparent all too quickly. And again, bespoke music for storytelling time is the absolute best thing. For every second... Oh, go ahead, Dana. I'll wait.
Oh, I was just, as I'm like talking to Andrew here, like, first of all, it doesn't matter to me either way, just let me know. And second, this boss isn't an exciting one. It's like a small amount of XP and gold. So like, it's not like this one is bestowing a pet. I was literally just getting rid of a quest that was sitting in my inventory. So, okay, cool. I'll start it.
For every second you hold the rose, you get a year added to your lifespan.
Cool.
But for every borrowed year, a thorn will grow on one of their bones.
Ooh.
Stories say that of all the people to touch the vampire rose, most realized their mistake instantly. Having extended their lives by but a single year, they'd release their grip and live on, with a painful reminder felt in every movement.
Ooh. That's so good.
There were others unable to stop themselves, and became what few would describe as human or even living.
Oh my gosh, this is such a good story.
Though it is unclear whether the vampire rose yet exists, everyone agrees on one thing. It appears that in the end, Death always gets the last laugh in the faces of those foolish enough to try and cheat her. The end.
This is a perfect spooky season story. Look at that. We're being so seasonal.
Right? Alright, sorry for doing all of these at once. This is just easier to keep track of, rather than stopping and healing when we don't actually need to be doing that very often. This is the last one we have for now. And this is the one that just unlocked. We actually just found that quest item in this playthrough in the Necromancer's Lair, where we met one of the three sisters, Yomara the Necromancer. Whenever twins are born in a solstice, fate itself flips a coin. Their magic is either incredibly heightened or corrupted into something that ought to be contained for the greater good.
Ooh.
And this one ties into Valere and Zale as the Solstice Warriors here.
Mm-hmm. Triplets were born.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. Now what?
As the Great
We have to
Eagle's
add an
instincts
equinox up in here.
indicated, it soon became apparent that morality had split itself in three, as if to see their innate magic expressed in distinct flavors. Because their actions would inevitably drive them far away from one another, they were given annoyingly similar names. Moyara, Yomara, and Romaya. We have not met Moyara, but she's the person who died and Moraine lived. In the backstory before the beginning of this game. And that's the grief that he holds, that he's emotionally unable to continue being headmaster, is because of her death. She's the good person.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, tell Angie to come check out my new short hair.
Nice.
I'm just farming for compliments. My birthday's at the end of the month, so.
Yeah, I don't have anything fancy for your birthday this year.
I don't need anything fancy. Just like buy me a good coffee in LA.
Okay, you got it.
That's all I really need.
Yomara is the neutral one, better known as the Crone of Songshroom Marsh, which you might recall is a location in the Messenger.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that's one of the annoying areas. I mean, a lot of them are annoying because they're hard.
Well, yes.
I remember thinking that that boss was particularly annoying. Like her movement set took me a while.
Yep, she's neutral and she's a prophet. So she predicted Moyara's death during the fight with the Dweller of Strife, which again happened about just before the flashback period started at the very, very beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Despite her immense power, she remains impartial in all conflicts. Meanwhile, Romaya studied the Fleshmancer's ways and developed forbidden arts of her own.
Oh.
She became the first necromancer and devised a way to trap souls within objects.
Oh, dang.
She's got candles that never burn out, noticeable by Romaya's signature green fire. And I like that the story drops just enough hints that if you're not actively putting the pieces together, like the green fire line will remind you from a gameplay perspective about it as well. It's just really good writing here.
Also, I love how we hear Ninja, what's her name? Cliche.
That's right.
What's her name?
It's
when not
Sarai,
cliche?
right? Yeah.
She's just like sharpening her blade and you hear that.
Yes. We can be brave, we can be peaceful, or we can be indulgent. Of course, the question comes for us, which one will we be?
Staking pure happenstance for prophecy. Never hear anybody do that, huh?
All right, now let's go under the waves here.
Under the sea. I guess we're in a lake, so.
Yeah, under the Great Lakes, right?
So for those who did not join while we were getting this power and testing it out, listen to what happens when you go under.
You get a very cool filtering sound. Also, now that folks have had a couple minutes to settle down into their seats as we get going here, quick reminder that this might be the last week we keep our fundraising notice up for Madison, who had her PlayStation stolen a couple weeks ago now in the Florida hurricane. But if you've got a couple spare bucks and have not yet thrown any into our collective pot for her, please consider doing so that she can replace that, not just because we want to give a cool friend their PS5 back, but on some level so that we can give an incoming graduate student their research vehicle back as well, since Madison works and researches in that area and could really use that equipment. And we're going to actually see her on Monday, so
heck yeah,
we'll be kind of celebrating a little bit with that updated total. We've raised about $200 for her so far. So good job to those of you who have helped out.
I was just thinking, Ryan, what if we did like a live stream next Thursday from like the Las Vegas airport?
The two of us just do what we can.
Just like a short one where we just like shoot the breeze.
You know what? I'll bring a webcam along. There's a chance we just get really punch drunk and decide to do something fun. We'll do it.
That day of travel is going to be the worst. So
yeah, it
is. It might be fun to hang out with people. Since it'll be later here, it'll be right in the
it'll be right in the time zone.
Yeah.
We might. We'll see, folks.
You're passing through Vegas Monday evening. Nice. Yeah, we're passing through Vegas earlier Monday.
Yeah, Monday we'll be there. We'll be in California by noon, so.
Yeah. We don't have a long layover, luckily, on the.
Yes. So this person, just like how the water-associated city in Golden Sun is the space you turn in the collectibles in Golden Sun, here we turn in the rainbow conches to this little girl who's running a cute little, essentially a lemonade stand. She likes rainbow shells. She'll trade you the goods for the rainbow shells.
That's like the little kid in Moleville. What are you supposed to? I'm trying to remember what you bring them. And then they eventually have like really cool stuff in their shop.
Super Mario RPG, yeah, you bring the green coins, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's like initially my like pretend store, and then they eventually have like fireworks and cool things.
Yeah, and I like how she's like, I knew who you are. I've got schematics for a tavern and a fishing house in the town.
Wow. Mutual benefit.
We do, in fact, have all the rainbow conches. Let's turn everything in now.
Love her.
What I do like is that they don't tell you what the rewards are, and I love this list of descriptions.
Something social, something useful, something transactional, something bountiful, something shrewd, something healthy, something relaxing, something potent, and something meta. Love it.
Let's turn it in.
All right.
We have in plans. That's the social one, right? The first one.
Okay, yeah.
Shop plans.
That's
fishing hut plans. Yeah, that's transactional. Spa plans.
Relaxing, probably.
And the Rainbow Star we also got, which is the reward for 60. That last item is my most peculiar one. No idea what it's for.
That means it's cool.
It is cool. It flew up and disappeared.
Interesting.
Guess that one's a dud. Sorry. It is not. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, Andrew, we'll have a. I don't know if there is anything in particular. Is there anything in particular happening Monday? Is that
there's a meetup from 7
dinner?
to 9, and that's it.
I'm trying to remember when the speaker dinner is.
Usually it's the last evening.
Yeah, I did a like RSVP for it, but I don't remember. Speaker dinner.
The speaker dinner is always swanky. Of course, I will not go this year, but I'm looking forward to hearing about how that spread is.
Well, you guys do your hobnobbing Monday. I was like, I have something Monday, and the thing I have Monday is because I won that one of the scholarships, the Game Audio Diversity Alliance. I have the GADA dinner. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is fun. I'm really excited to meet some people.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Right.
And that's at 7:30. So then I'll.
Okay.
However long I'm there, then I'll just text everybody else, and hopefully we'll just be like hanging in a hotel room or somewhere.
My
close.
guess is that we'll just meet up around 9-ish at the hotel somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds great.
My student lands about 8:15 or 8:20 on Monday evening, so I have a little bit of checking in to do on that front, but by 9 I should be able to hang out. In any case, the Oracle of Tides is one of 3 seers The Elder Mist, I think, is the other one we've met already. And we want to go to Mesa Island.
What?
No chatter. Come on now.
Yeah, Pete, you gotta submit. You
Yeah.
gotta be a speaker, because then you get the the attendance fee, which
And
is helpful for
I
those
will
of us that aren't in the industry.
I will also note that once you attend once, the alumni fee is a significant reduction in price.
Yeah, Brian makes it so that if you've gone before, it's cheaper
Yeah.
in the subsequent times. So
That's really nice of him, actually.
I know. I really like how Brian runs the conference. He's always been just so organized and such a delight to work with.
Yeah.
Matthew and I
The whole industry is just
love
really
working with him
lucky
and
to
for
have him in the leadership position that he holds.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the flow of time is willing to reveal to us.
And we'll see. My thing's coming together. I have some interesting ideas
Nice.
for my talk.
This is how you rebuke a lady, by the way. The one who does not belong here is eager to speak, I see.
Milady.
Right?
Where's your fedora, buddy?
The Oracle, for what it's worth, does not mean it in a sexist way. There's remains something going on that we have been made
Foreign
aware of,
child.
that there is something. That's right. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I definitely think Brian's model isn't necessarily something that tiny conferences that aren't industry can adopt, because part of the reason it is what it is that it charges an industry,
Yes.
appropriate price to get in.
Yeah, I will say, for instance, the Hoova platform that Brian uses works extremely well, and in many ways it will work better as a virtual experience than Nakvagum does. In my defense, he operates on a budget with extra zeros after it compared to what we run Nakvagum with.
Yeah.
In any case, Warrior Cook, Step 4, that's the best title.
It will be interesting to see if a larger academic society, like some of our home societies, like the AMS, the SMT, and SEM, could
Yes.
move toward that. I know there's been quite a bit of accessibility issues.
Yes.
Also,
this is the worst prophecy. There's a great deed
really
you might be
interesting to see if they could
capable
implement
of,
something like Hoova.
but it will only be revealed to you once it is too late to act on it.
Great. You might be capable of it. I love that. Okay, sure.
Right?
Girl's my favorite.
When that moment comes, demand a flask of borrowed time.
Oh, because that'll give you a little time back, huh?
Maybe enough time
I
to
love
actually do it.
Girl. Yeah,
And here are the two Solstice kids.
do the thing. Sounds like Kate Sith's fortune to Aerith in FF7, says Andrew.
Oh, Jen.
Oh, yeah, Jin.
Happy to repeat that. There is a meetup from 7 to 9 that's put on by either IGDA Los Angeles or Gang Los Angeles, one of those two groups. And I don't have that location on me right now, but I will either Facebook DM you or find a different way to get a hold of you. It's Monday evening, the day before the conference.
Yeah. And then I think the smaller group of us Ludo people will hang out around 9 when that's over.
Yeah. So he hasn't said anything to the kids yet, you'll realize. He said, very interesting, but the order of these events, a real shame. You've been upfront with me, so I shall do the same.
But before that, Madison and Ryan and I are going to Nintendo World. So if anybody is in town, we're going to go in the afternoon, so we won't be there the whole day because we're beholden to when we land and everything. But
Yes, and actually
Very
I got my
excited.
new shirt in. It did come on time, Dana. I'm really excited.
Oh, I'm excited. I have to
So,
steam mine
hold
because
on.
it's a little wrinkled.
Oh,
but...
mine actually smells gross. Like, you know that new shirt smell that needs to be washed once first? But it came in the mail today. Check this out.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm wearing mine that's the Mario 1-1 level. Because
Nice.
it's so colorful. I think it'll look so good. So yeah, we're kind of, all three of us are in agreement. We were talking about it and we're like, first of all, I don't think there's a ton in terms of rides. There's mostly just like the Mario
I think, yeah,
Kart
it's mostly going to be
experience.
vibes, I think.
So most of what we're doing is taking pictures of things and maybe trying to get cute food.
Yep.
If we can get, it'll depend on how busy it is that day, because like you can't do advanced reservations to the like really cute Toad Cafe. You have to do it upon entry as you go in.
Yeah.
So it's very possible there just won't be any spots, but maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe
Yeah,
on
who
Monday
knows?
it
We'll
won't
see.
be so
Monday at
crowded.
1:30? This sounds like a reasonable shot. We'll find
Right.
out. Also,
Yeah.
in case you have not played any JRPGs before, in addition to the good part of the prophecy where he says, all I can tell you is that the Watch of the Oracles has come to an end now that you have arrived. Also,
uh-oh.
there's a dungeon behind me. Go do
Yeah.
that.
Go do the dungeon.
Right? So that's the thing. We're headed for that tower that's totally not the end of Golden Sun 1. Right? That's Venus Lighthouse, right? Like, no, it's the tower
Wait,
of
why
Aunt
did Steve Reale
Sudlo.
yell at Andrew? Do I know this story? Do I remember this? Granted, motherhood has made me have the memory of a goldfish. Have fun listening to
know.
the ocean, Pete.
Yeah, don't be sorry. You deserve bragging and enjoyment. Have a blast, Pete.
That'll be fun.
All right. The door waits for us. All right. Well, let's go to the door.
We'll have to think about it, like, in terms of games. Things that we could play with, like, our small group.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Also, a reminder,
we need
this is the
packed.
second time now we've been told of all the possible outcomes of where the plot goes from here. None of them have us winning that fight
Great.
that's coming up. Fantastic, right? That's what Moraine
I
said,
like the
too.
blink. There must be a way.
There must be a way. Just say we might be able to alter fate. I don't make the rules. You've had plenty of time to stare at the night inside of you.
Oh.
Your potential is immense. You will not be prepared in time. Regardless
Haven't they been
of what
training basically
happens.
since they were born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since
I
they were
guess.
little kids, right?
Yeah.
There's no outcome where we win. And fight you will, but victory will not be yours.
Alright, Yoda.
And you, Lunar Monk, with but a simple spark, you could have been the one to mend the connection at long last. So close and yet so far.
Oh, hearing the story, I'm like, first of all, that sounds familiar. Second of all, even if it's not because I was there, it's because I've experienced similar from Steve, getting mad about
Yes.
code words. Steve takes his board games very seriously.
Yeah. So, the Oracle also can't help us get to Mesa Island. This whole trip sucks and is a waste. Hooray! All he knows for certain is the next step is beyond the waterfall in the tower. We will discover the
I don't
secret
know, though.
that has been waiting for us all along.
If I recall, isn't the advice don't go chasing waterfalls? So,
Yeah, I know it, but nonetheless, we will arrive to Aunt Sudlo here. It's a very cool piece of music, actually. I will take one fight here, but as few as possible. And it looks like it's going to be this one. Okay. Don't like this.
That's like a watered copy of you.
Yeah.
I should drink my cider. I put it on my mug warmer, electric coaster, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
Which, when I bought it, it was like $7.99 online, and I'm like, this is one of the best things I've ever bought, just so my coffee doesn't get cold. But then, last year for Christmas, my father-in-law got me one of those ember mugs that just stays, it like keeps it at whatever temperature you set it to.
Nice.
It's not a big one, so sometimes if I want like a really big cup of coffee, then it's not ideal, but I love it. And you can set like what color the light is when it's fully charged. So instead of just being like red or green, I have mine, of course, set to like a really pretty jewel tone green. Green.
The filtering there is really cool, by the way. I don't know if you caught it.
Mm-hmm. Because you drain the water.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, the motion of that guy. Nice. Like airlock system here, but
it
for
is,
water.
But unfortunately I have to remember what to do in each spot.
Hell have no fury like Steve Riley losing in a board game. It's not even he doesn't care if he's losing as long as he feels like everybody is playing it properly. Like I don't know. He's very like, you know how you get a group together and maybe you're playing something that isn't super easy, like one of those Euro games that has a lot of rules, and you go to explain the rules and there's that person who's clearly like, oh, not one of these, and they like don't even want to start.
Yes.
Those are the types of rules that he can't stand. Like he wants somebody to want to play like Twilight Imperium with him, and not be fazed by the fact that it takes a while to learn. Yeah, he's got such a strategic brain. Remember when we played Sophia together at Fest?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like he definitely has brain for strategy that I do.
Okay, left side now. Also, other than this clearly participating in relaxing watery tropes with like, and the hint of danger comes to us vis-a-vis like Echo the Dolphin style water stages, I don't have a ton to say here beyond acknowledging that we are playing to type here.
Yeah. It's pretty.
It is. We need the red orb. That's what we need.
I like this music box timbre that just came in a bit ago.
Yeah.
The top.
I forget, can I jump down? I can.
I did something fun today. I picked up my accordion from the repair guy.
Oh, nice. Is it working in good? Everything is fine with it now?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
It wasn't too bad in terms of cost, too, considering, like, I don't know the last time that it had ever been looked at. I don't know that Eric, the previous owner, really played it much.
Okay.
He had a lot of instruments when he passed, and his mom made it sound like he just kind of enjoyed collecting them, like just interesting. Like he had an interesting keyboard and he had a bass guitar and
Yeah.
different thing.
Oh no, Garl got eaten.
She didn't remember him really playing the accordion, or like remember hearing the accordion, so. But she was excited. The reason it came to me is because she was like, oh my gosh, a musician! Like, the idea that it could actually get played and not just put somewhere. So.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, if you want to have motivation to like try to learn an instrument to even an amateur level, inherit the instrument from a friend who dies. Like, dark but true.
Oof, Dana.
Like, nothing will light a fire under you than like, I have to learn this for Eric, right?
Right. I actually own an accordion, and I don't really play it beyond the most basic things. The strap is broken. I just need to go repair, like, the strap that hooks around.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah. So wait, I got the pink pearl. Did I not take the yellow pearl with me out of this area?
I think the only other thing I had to replace on this one right when I got it was like the straps that clip to actually close the accordion when you go to put it away were leather and they were like deteriorating, so I got new ones. But I hope to one day be, good, like decently good.
Yeah. Right,
but that's, relative to knowing that like what I would consider very average and mediocre to most people is like, well, okay, you say that with like multiple degrees in violin performance, right? Like,
right. What's good for you is professionally adequate, presumably.
Right.
And that's not good for most people, right?
Which would be like, I have some, I have pretty good facility. Mostly, in my case, it's the left hand, it's the buttons. Just kind of, it's not hard to remember that it's circle of fifths, but just kind of like the muscle memory of how far away each new fundamental is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm mostly working on at this point, because like the arrangement is easy. The outer row, or I guess inner row closest to the bellows, is the third of the chord. The second row in is the root.
Huh.
So that's a little bit confusing. And then from there, those are the single reed bellows. And then from there, when you press them, it depresses multiple buttons to make chords. And so from there, it makes the major chord of the scale, the minor chord of the scale, the dominant 7 of the scale, and the diminished.
Okay. There we go.
I haven't played anything that's required diminished. You have an automaton, Andrew? We just got a new one. We got you know how they make the tiny little baby one? We got one for Josephine because she's really into mine. And then she'll point at mine and go, "Mama," and then she'll point at hers and go, "Baby." Yeah. Automatons are old. Both of mine are out in the living room right now because I've been enjoying playing both of them.
I actually got a whole case for mine.
You have a case for yours? That's fun. I mean, I have the strap for mine. It probably came with it. I don't think I bought that separate. But the smaller one doesn't have a strap. It's just like, I don't know. Is it even a foot? I don't think it's even 12 inches. It's cute.
Yeah, we both have the big size. Julian had the tiny one.
Yeah, Julian. That's right. Julian has the one that we just got, Josephine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will totally get a picture. Mm-hmm. What I should send you, Andrew, and I haven't even posted this to social media yet, but it's a video. So this is funny. We actually, the same night we bought the automaton, we were driving out to Micro Center computer store, looking for a few things, and then we ended up getting the automaton, and Josephine kept repeating, like, all day. She was like, "Mama, tonight's the supermoon." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Right? And she wouldn't let go of it. And then the sun set pretty early and the moon rose, and it was super orange and super big, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it is. So I looked it up, and it had actually been the night before, like the Thursday night.
Sure.
But then I'm going like, where did she hear this? Like, I texted my mom, like, were you and Dad just like, had you seen it on the news? Maybe you talked about it. Like, where did she hear that there was a supermoon happening? My mom's like, I didn't know there was a supermoon. And I asked Joe, like, were you talking about it? He's like, no. So for a few weeks, we were like, what on earth, like, taught her that there was a supermoon happening? Turns out it was in the show Puffin Rock. Which is one of her favorites. In like the first episode, that they talk about there being a supermoon.
Huh.
And she just got lucky on the timing, where we were all like, what the?
That's amazing.
But I have the cutest video of her where she's just going like, supermoon, over and over and over again. Like, yay!
Nice.
Supermoon. And it's my favorite video.
Yeah,
But
that
you
is
can't see anything
excellent.
because it's dark out, so it's just a black screen, but you just hear her.
All right, we are now 2/3 of the way through the tower. I'm running as fast as I can here. I know that watching the dungeoning part is not actually what we're all here for. Nothing. Do we go in here first? Yes, we do. No, yeah. Perfect. In the tube. And now all the other puzzles have been one-room puzzles. Unfortunately, this last one, I mean, it's good game design, but it is also, like, hard, is the whole floor is one giant contiguous puzzle now.
Well, that's the thing. Like many kids shows, especially when they're on like a streaming platform, one episode is like 3 episodes because they're short. So I don't know how I had just never known. Like, I feel like I've seen that entire show so many times, but I guess I just hadn't. There's an episode where they watch an eclipse, so like that one I remembered, but. Yeah, Joe came up and he was like, I solved it. It's in the very first episode of Puffin Rock.
Nice.
Like, it's one of the 3 in that first episode. Oh. But yeah, it was so funny that I think she just like saw the moon and then was saying like, but all day she's saying that. So she must have gotten that language from the show, but. Then she ended up being right. Like we were right close to one, and you could still see like it was still close to the earth, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm opening my LaCroix for the evening.
It's one of my favorite videos. It is fun to be able to like capture, like some of these things, they'll mispronounce it then in a really cute way, and then one day they start pronouncing it correctly, and you're kind of like.
So now we're on the left side again. We're going to take tube number 2 over.
This day and age, I can just like get a short video when I can. The one that I've had a hard time getting a video of, just because it is hard to get, is she's heard us say like gesundheit when people sneeze enough that, but also like achoo because of sneezing. So she doesn't say gesundheit, she says achoo tight.
Nice.
If somebody sneezes, she'll be like achoo tight, mama. But I can't catch it because like I never know if I'm gonna sneeze, right? Like it's not like I have my camera out ready to go.
Right.
And it's such like a quick thing. Yeah, she cracks us up.
Now hold on, I think I have to do this in the reverse order, maybe? Because I know I need the pearl eventually. But I don't think I can get it yet.
She does not watch Peppa
Let's go
Pig,
back.
but Puffin Rock is everybody has an Irish accent because it's produced in Ireland. So that's a fun one. And then Trash Truck is like her other favorite show, and that's Australian. So there's not too pronounced of accents, but like you can definitely tell. More so in Puffin Rock, a lot of them have very pronounced accents, but
I missed Puffin Rock.
it's so good. So good.
I will say I don't actually think Peppa Pig is good. I think it's kind of trash television.
Yeah, she hasn't watched that one, but what's the other one that I'm trying to think like what else she's seen other than like Bob Ross.
I felt cute.
Oh, there's one called I think it's a Netflix special, like one of theirs that they made called Sea of Love. That one's cute. We're not quite as into that one as some of the others, but it's all sea creatures. So and she kind of likes sea creatures in general. So anything with that.
What do I do with...
that is funny though. The folks getting like the kids getting the slight accent because they're watching TV from there. But also Joe watches a lot of anime. Ever since 2020, ever since the pandemic, he's been working really hard on his Japanese.
Oh yeah.
And so he's in a Discord for it. In fact, I think he's probably talking to people on it now.
Oh, we're here. Oh boy. Sorry, finish your thought, Dana. Then it's time.
So he's watched enough stuff in Japanese. I have heard her say a couple of Japanese words. Denki for light. I've heard her say once or twice. She still says light, although it's more like yite with a Y. But
that's really normal. Yeah.
She did Denki once or twice, and then she's for a while she was saying hi instead of yes. She would go hi.
Nice.
So I was like, okay. Enough of the Japanese was rubbing off, but not enough where she's gonna like learn to speak it, because you need native face-to-face speakers in the home to have the most effective language learning. But if she picks up a couple words, we will be charmed by it. Nice.
We are now at the top of the tower. Let's see what happens here.
Energy feels odd. Uh-oh.
You notice we got silence. Something is happening.
Somebody wrote a paper about that once at NACFAGM. And then put it in her dissertation. Almost verbatim.
No handles, can't push it open. It's not resonating with the magic.
Maybe we're supposed to not. I love him. Every single thing he says just delights me. Like, you can just picture, like, the way he says it, too.
Yeah.
We're supposed to knock. Like, he's so cute.
Their efforts in the tower proved valiant, but alas, as fate would have it, when these events first occurred, the mysterious door remained firmly shut.
Notice when these events first occurred, that implies a redo?
Despite we'll get there. Despite their best efforts in the face of the setback, our heroes were unable to reach Mesa Island in time, and the Dweller of Strife turned into a World Eater. They fought ever so bravely, but in the end, their lives and their world were lost.
Dang. Okay.
Well, so close your book, man. Story time's over now. Oh. Thus, we arrive at the crux of tonight's musings, a single question.
Okay.
How far might they go should fate be given a nudge and the door that once sat closed were to be opened?
Okay.
Let's find out.
Is that supposed to be like a major clue when we finally see the face look back like that?
Did you see who it is?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I really wish, Jarrell, I will not be at the wedding tomorrow. I know. I can't go because GameSound Con is on Sunday and Monday. Me and Dana are flying out to Los Angeles. She's driving out here Sunday, and then I fly out Monday. And I had to teach today because I am missing all class next week. So you're going to miss me at the wedding. Tell everybody I said hi, though. I'm really sad about it.
Is it anybody like that I would know?
Maybe. Our Joe Zija is getting married.
Oh my goodness.
and a whole bunch of us got invited out to the wedding, and I struggled with my calendar literally for weeks until the point to try and figure out how to make it work. And he finally asked me about 2 weeks before, like, we were supposed to send in our RSVPs. He's like, "Hey man, did you just did you forget? When are you coming down?" And I was like, "Look, I've been putting off telling you because I can't make it work."
Oh, that sucks.
But the entirety of that group is going to be having a baller party tomorrow.
Anybody
for Joe
who can whistle that well deserves a lifetime of happiness.
He's gonna have it. He's done very well for himself.
I will never forget hearing that fistful of nickels the first time. Oh my gosh. Say hello to all of them.
Yeah.
They're all so
Hi,
wonderful.
Friends. All right, so here we are in the archives, and the preamble to the game is now over, though I will admit it's not quite that long.
And now we're going, oh, look how it is!
It is not the shopkeeper from The Messenger, though there is an obvious visual reference here.
Mm-hmm. Girl.
Are you really? Titles are for stories and myths. Call me Rashawn. I'm going to say that the next time somebody asks what to call me.
Or you say Dr. Thompson because you got to do the labor so that the rest of us that get called Dana can maybe.
I am always Dr. Thompson in print.
For anybody that's like, what is Dana talking about? It's the idea that like there's so many professors that will do the whole like, I'm a cool guy, like I don't need a fancy title, just call me Ryan.
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
And then meanwhile, like their female like,
colleagues, right?
Colleagues are sitting here like, cool, my students didn't have to be invited to call me by my first name, they just did it.
Yeah, I will say in person, in speech, I always introduce myself to undergrads as Dr. Thompson, but I don't like stop class and call them out for anything within bounds.
Yeah. But then especially like if you get called, like if somebody's like, yo, Dana, like in an email, and it's like I don't know them, or we're not on, I don't know who would address me other than maybe an undergrad that just doesn't know. But if you say anything about it, then you're like a bitch, right? So like then you feel like in a very catch-22. So it's like my move is usually I just then sign the email back to them, like Dr. Plank is like just like hello.
I would share some stories here, but I know that I have some current students who watch this stream, and I can't share stories about current students in a semi-public space. So those of you who are academics or professionals,
example.
You are welcome to ask me in person privately, and I'll tell you all you want to know.
But in general, it's just like it's not that it's like this huge like I'm so highfalutin and like I'm insisting on the title. It's just more that like the assumption tends to like show that people have an inherent bias, that a lot of students will assume that like the male professor has the credentials that maybe everybody else they won't assume that. They'll think that you're like ABD or like somehow you only have a master's degree, like they won't assume you have the doctorate. That's the problem.
So the alchemist can't help directly, sadly. And yes, it is in fact worse than a dweller turning into a flesh eater. Again, this is one universe, and he'll mess up all of them if he gets involved. Ephoral is the fleshmancer.
I will say in general, though, like I poke fun at that whole issue, but in general, like I don't have that crop up very often with students. What I actually get more often, which is kind of a geographical thing, is I'll get like ma'am. often from students who are from like more of the southern states. Like they'll use that as kind of like a polite form of address.
Right. But most of us who live north of the Mason-Dixon line receive that as you're an old person, not as a respect thing.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, yeah, because like if you go from miss to ma'am, it means you're old, and then you feel weird about it. Like I've never taken it particularly weird.
Aside, by the way, Garl continues to have nothing but banger dialogue the entire game.
I love him. Take him on, he's nothing but a loser.
It appears time is of the essence.
Hmm.
He can get us to Mesa Island. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Whether or not you can help yourselves. We know how to fight.
Truly are who I am hoping you are. Getting cool things is fun. We can go get a cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, being called sir, I imagine, is a little bit
look at what portal, Dana, he just summoned.
Looks like a piece of toast. Wait. Oh.
It's the same shape as the door out of the Tower of Time from the Messenger.
Yes, it is. And that's why we can send you off on this quest when it would seem that time is of the essence, right?
So, listen, team. We're going to start the next chapter of our game here. No more archivist storyline here. We're now in his present.
Ah! For anyone that didn't play The Messenger, this is the track from Glacial Peak in the game, but now we're getting it from this totally different navigation perspective with like the Chrono Trigger.
That's right. This remix that like combines like the aesthetics of Zeal with Glacial Peak rules.
It's quite a bit slower than the one in the Messenger, I'll note. Right?
It's a tiny bit slower. Only 2 clicks or so, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I could swear it feels way faster. About to pull it up. I have to confirm. Messenger Glacial.
This section is also new. It's expanded significantly. Yeah, we're fine. Notice that because the music is so cool, by the way, combat is just this soundtrack, because why would you ruin this?
Yeah.
Also, I love the DJ enemy.
So the other one is da 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 da. It feels enough faster, but it's also because the bass line, and I'm thinking of the 8-bit version, not the 16-bit version, to be clear.
Yes.
The 8-bit version also has very active bass line arpeggiation, so that's adding a lot of rhythmic momentum.
The harmonic rhythm is a lot faster in the bass.
Yes.
Yeah. I do think the tempo is pretty close to the same, though. It's not exactly.
It's closer to the 16-bit version from what I was trying to listen to over top of this one.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I appreciate that, Andrew. And like, I'm not too precious about it. Like, I don't really have a lot of ego about the situation. It's just more about that idea of like normalizing and getting students to recognize like that there are some norms of address and that there are kind of safer options if you don't know.
We have to take this fight. We get a special
like
dance-off.
In the US, right? Like, if somebody is teaching your class and you don't know if they have a PhD and should be doctor, you could just say, like, hey, Professor Blank, or prof plank, you know? Like, you could always do that. I know in the UK it's a totally different beast in terms of having a default there, because professor is very specific.
And see, I'm not the only person with a PhD in my department by any means, but of the people who instruct in the degree program that I instruct in, I'm one of 2 that an undergraduate would likely interface with. There's a third person as well, but he's primarily... our new hires, actually. A couple of them also have PhDs. But for a while there, I was one of 2. And so it became common to not have the professor title as much, which led to more first naming.
Yeah.
I never blocked that one right. Zale needs to strike and get some magic back. There we go.
This makes me so happy. This was one of the moments you were excited for us to get to, because you knew I would react.
Yes.
Why, hello.
Yeah. We have to fight. We fought 1 and 3 a couple dungeons ago last week. Now we have to fight 2 and 4.
Yeah, we're feisty. We're gonna fight ya. I like the battle version of that like introductory theme that it works in the do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yes, this is a good boss theme.
Very unified.
Oh no. The portal is very high on the top. It's gonna be really hard. Yeah, not as many. That's okay. Yeah, we're doing fine still.
Great. Great theme. Accidentally full screen. That was...
There we go. That teleport strike.
Yes.
Which feels like it's out of the messenger, even though the messenger can't actually do that.
Yeah. Such a good game.
The ninja strike
For that being like
their
like trial run, so they could make this game, you're just like, what? That game's so good.
Right.
It's like your practice.
I love that Garl talks trash after they're gone. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's very, like, it fits his personality so well. Yeah. Don't come back.
Yeah. Clanging the pot lid, too.
Yeah. Adorable. He's the best.
Alright.
Love those little, like, trumpet turns.
Right? Hard to ascribe
It's
an instrument
low,
to
right?
it.
I mean, that's not impossible. It just feels low to me. But it definitely has like the feel of a trumpet. But whatever, it had those cute little turns. You gonna fill a fire
right.
to melt the ice? Oh, you're stepping back so they can do a thing. That makes more sense. Hooray!
Yep.
So much energy. I'd like some of that energy, please.
Now we can move the time of day whenever we want. No more puzzles to stand on the spot.
I remember you saying in a lot of places, like, oh, we can't do this puzzle yet type things.
This is one of those things. Yep, we can just do this at will now. And actually what we're going to do is shift it to nighttime to hear the new version of the track now.
That's so cool. I like the waiting animation where Girl's eating.
Yes, it's very good.
Very cool.
So, obviously there are puzzles that this unlocks. More important for our purposes is that it unlocks a second version of every track.
Yeah, which we've heard some of them, like, organically, right?
Yes, you have heard some of them in real time, but not nearly as many as are actually in existence.
You didn't go get that treasure chest?
No, I don't need any of the chests.
Yeah. It's fun that they made this section, obviously they're having it so you test the new ability and like you sort of figure out how it works. But it also helps you kind of realize like, oh, there are night and daytime versions of every, like if that hadn't occurred to you to this point, this makes it way more obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds different every time I'm doing this too. Hello.
I mentioned it on the first week we streamed the game because you stand on a specific spot that lets you change the day and nighttime, and a student, one of my artist students, visual art students, was around. But the way the shadows work is that every 2D sprite that you see is actually a 3D object rendered in 2 dimensions by the game engine, which means the light can play off it as a 3D object in the space. It's just a really genius way to think about lighting in a 2D game that really elevates this as a next-gen title, not just a Chrono Trigger clone, if you will.
Right.
We were just on Mesa Island, by the way, a minute ago. He sent us there.
Nope.
Only an animal would do that.
It's funny if you played the messenger.
Right. If you succeed, I promise I will help. I know. Hear me out. We have to wake the giant stone head on Mesa Island.
Okay.
Brewing it requires centuries. My personal alchemy bottle, the Vial of Time. With it, I can control time itself. Bring it back to me and I'll prepare what you need in seconds.
Amazing.
I'll hit it on somewhere on Watcher Island a long time ago. The Forest tricks always involve big statues. Eventually I figured he'd have to stop if I never recovered my vial, but here we are in need of it. Alright. Remember how we were told to stay off of Torment Peak? Now we have to go there.
Of course.
Yep, the Solstice Amulet's real power is we can conjure an eclipse now. Which means we can go fight the big bad guys now. Torment Peak is being set up for us, not unlike Death Peak from Chrono Trigger, I will note. First we get the tool we need. It's but a little nudge. Surely this help can stay between us. Alright. We never have to go through the tower again, thankfully. Now we just get a permanent little hub here at the top of the lake that'll take us to the alchemist's lair at the top of the tower.
I like this track. I said this last time.
This track's good. We gotta go hear Torment Peak, though. And then we can wake the sleeping giant.
I chew tight.
Before we do, though, it's now story time again with Teeks.
Story time with Teeks.
You normally would find this on Glacial Peak, by the way.
Okay.
Here's the story, the big story of the big bad guys behind the game here. Reveling at first in the bright side of their immortal coil, they spent centuries nurturing the world and creating wonders to inspire its mortals.
Uh-oh.
Over time, however, Ephoriel grew increasingly jealous of the ephemerality he would never taste again.
Oh my.
Thus began his wicked journey into the forbidden schools of alchemy, a journey which would see every last bit of good in his heart dissipate as he experimented with soul, bone, flesh, and blood alike. As fate would have it, Ephoriel fully embraced evil and emerged as the Fleshmancer, a vengeful immortal plaguing the world with his monstrous creations. Rishan tried intervening as best he could, but all that ensued was unspeakable chaos and collateral damage as the two former friends fought with godlike powers.
Uh-oh.
After much struggle, Rishan discovered the Fleshman's only weaknesses to be solar and lunar magic, a power bestowed upon those born during a solstice.
Okay.
He began training these children to become the original solstice warriors, singularly tasked with culling the numbers of the Fleshmancer's creations. Ephoriel's knowledge was also growing. Eventually he became capable of creating oddities of unlimited potential known as dwellers, impervious to all forms of magic except during a total eclipse. And of course this part of the story we have heard before in another context. Dwellers were creatures in development feeding on local life. Left to their own devices for too long, they would evolve into world eaters, spelling doom for all. It's a long stalemate, in other words, right? The Solstice Warriors patrol the world, fighting the Dwellers every eclipse. And there could be a stalemate, but yeah. Here's where we are today. Transmutation alchemy on the space-time continuum itself. After successfully splitting reality into countless timelines and parallel worlds, he shelved his alchemy vial and took up the mantle of archivist. On an endless journey across all realities, he would catalog every possible outcome in search of a resolution to the throes of the Fleshmancer. Meanwhile, Ephorel rejoiced at the infinite number of opportunities for destruction that had opened up to him. To find some measure of peace amidst their immortal conflict, the two alchemists made a pact to let the fate of each timeline play out on its own. So the game of cat and mouse began, played by Dwellers and Solstice Warriors on one level, and by Rashawn and Ephorel on another. Across a myriad of timelines and over innumerous centuries, some worlds would never be visited by Ephorel, while others would be cursed by his mark. All the worlds he visits dies, eventually. Each would either be destroyed by a world eater or permanently saved by the ascension of a pair of Solstice Warriors into guardian gods. Wildly, by the way, the origins of this mythology are in the Messenger, where the pair of moon and sun guardian gods give you the final music note. And talk about how they saved the world centuries ago. So this plot line, the big picture idea, was already there for them 6 years ago. Wild. As to when Rashawn plans on recomposing the timelines, or whether he even knows how, remains to be seen. The end.
Well. Campfire feels cozy and warm.
Yeah, we're gonna cook up another feast just to make sure I don't
like
die.
The cooking. Look at all the cooking. It's so cute. That is a legendary feast. Look at that.
Right?
Amazing. You can make poutine?
Yes. Poutine is the Phoenix Down of the game. Because of course it is. Have you eaten poutine before?
The only thing better than lasagna.
Right? Lasagna is as good as food gets.
Go up to... I just want to see the image of it. Putting chaumier.
Oh, yeah, here.
Cute. Way too sweet by the end. That's funny. Yakitori shrimp.
Yeah.
I like the champion omelet.
We don't need the braise. We need a party heal. Do we have anything? I have one Mooncradle fish pie, but I think I will take
a game that
this.
invests in its food.
I love the descriptions of all the food. I have been kind of ignoring this part of the game, but it rules. And you slowly unlock...
Look at how... wait, the berry jam is even, with the cute little lid on it with the...
Yes.
The twine. That's... I do that. Wait, go... I just want to see them one by one. Tomato club, basic, salad.
Yeah.
Boring but healthy. Mushroom scramble.
More fun to cook
this is
than
one
it is
thing
to
I
eat.
like in the Messenger, too, is the flavor text in the games is really funny.
It is, yeah. Chaudray is as good as the pepper you grind into it.
True. Herbed filet. Healthy and light. Roast sandwich. Thin slices of meat and a crispy baguette.
I'd eat that.
Yeah.
Mushroom
Hearty,
soup.
comforting. I like mushrooms.
Yeah, the fish pie.
Mooncradle, Everma Styling Classic.
Hearty stew tastes like home.
Yeah.
Peach strudel, definitely worth the hassle.
Any kind of strudel. Yep.
Bouillabaisse,
better. Have to make it yourself.
That is correct, though.
That is 1000% correct. Who makes that at home? Parfait. It's all in the name.
Sashimi as fresh as food can be.
Yep, pretty much.
Yakitori shrimp, simple can be good. Lasagna, again, as good as food gets.
You can tell Garl wrote these in his cookbook.
Right. I actually really like the pudding chaumer one.
Yeah. That was how I felt about the Grimace Shake. I don't know if it wasn't too sweet to begin with, but it was definitely too sweet to finish.
Too sweet by the end. The braise is slow cooked in clay to tender perfection.
Wonderful.
And then Garl's ultimate recipe, the legendary feast, which you'll notice is the mega elixir item. of the game.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. Thank you for indulging me.
Most of those, I will note,
Ludomusicology.
most of those we don't have access to at this point in the game yet. I think the Moon Cradle Fish Pie is about the top tier food item right now.
Yeah, I really appreciate. It's like how people say, you know, when anime like makes its food look extra delicious, and it's like almost a better quality than the rest of the animation.
Yes, FF14 does that a lot as well. Everybody like oohs and ahs over the food.
Yeah, there's like cookbooks that come out because of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Someone was just telling me, is there one that's out or is it coming out that there's like a Stardew cookbook? Is it?
Oh, I don't know about a
remember.
Stardew cookbook. That sounds good.
I think it's in development. Maybe I saw Eric Barone tweet it.
Okay.
Nope, it's out.
Nice. Alright, let's go to Torment Peak and fight the Dweller Within.
$13.99 if you want it on Kindle. $25 for hardcover. That's not too bad.
I can't do stuff like that on Kindle. I gotta have it.
How many pages is it? 192 pages for $25, and it's hardcover, and it's cute.
That's
I'll
not
drop
bad
a
at
link
all.
in the chat, just to, you know, the Amazons, but you can look it
Oh.
up at whatever bookstore you prefer. Oh, Andrew mentioned it to me.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm actually, for as big of a cook as I am, I'm a little bit minimalist with my cookbooks. I'm very picky about them. So
Huh.
a lot of those ones, what's the other one? A lot of people are like, oh, because I like the Snoop Rosé, they're like, we should get you the Snoop Dogg cookbook. I'm like, I don't know how much I'd use it, because I'm really picky with cookbooks. On a book buying ban, that's always a smart thing to impose on oneself. I go through those phases. I go through game buying bans too.
Yeah, me too.
Although usually when I'm on one, Joe isn't, so games still enter this house.
October the 20th. I don't know if everybody else has like a big game bill coming their way, but Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder are the same day, which is just unjust.
Oh yeah, packing books is the worst. And they're always so heavy.
Yeah.
Like, there's even cookbooks that, in general, I like, and I recommend to other people, but then if I find that I'm really kind of gravitating to just a few recipes from it, and I'm not cooking through more of it, I will eventually just copy those recipes down into my file and then donate the book or, like, give it to somebody else. I just don't hold on, I don't hold on to cookbooks once I'm not using them. And, like, unless it is just a piece of art, which the Forest Feast cookbooks are. She watercolors all the backgrounds and lays out the ingredients visually.
Do you have any big generic cookbooks like the Town and Country cookbook or the Better Homes
No.
and Gardens cookbook that are like the standards, if you will?
My standard is actually a family one. It's the Preston Sterling, you know, like Methodist Church cookbook, because there's a bunch of recipes that I grew up with
Nice.
that ended up being from that cookbook. So I have one of those, but it's not super big. It's one of those things they had all the church ladies contribute a recipe kind of thing, and then they just,
Church
like,
lady cookbooks are the best cookbooks for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
And
things
then
are worth their weight in
they,
gold
like,
in the
got
Midwest.
one of those like spiral binder things, and they just like made it at the church and sold
Excellent.
copies. It's one of those. Closest thing to that is very specific, and it's the Plenty by Yotam Ottolenghi and Plenty More. Those are kind of my, like, if you want to know how to cook vegetarian, those recipes will give you a great education in not just making the same things over and over. They are a little involved. I used to call it date night vegetarian because, like, there are recipes in there that you have to find weird cheeses or like even because Ottolenghi does a lot of like where is he from? I want to say he has he's in London, but yeah, he has an Israeli background. That's what I was trying to remember where exactly. And so he cooks with a lot of ingredients that have kind of an Israeli twist, spice blends, things like that. So
Nice.
and sometimes that's not always easy to find here.
Yeah.
So there will be like certain types of vegetables or cheeses that aren't as common that like I'll have to figure out subs for, but Plenty and Plenty More are incredible cookbooks. And even though like I wouldn't say I go to them regularly, those are two that I hold on to. And he does have like other ones that are like more simple, but they're kind of aspirational, so I hold on to them. And the photography is really beautiful. I love those. But the other one, and people who know me well have heard me talk about it heard me talk about this one all the time, is Half Baked Harvest. I have all three of those. Those ones I go to all the time. I'm constantly making a recipe either from her blog or from one of those three cookbooks. They are extremely versatile. They are approachable. She has a whole book that's just called Super Simple. So it is that. She has one that's kind of more like family dinner oriented, and then like her first one is just kind of a generic all things. But I really like Tegan Gerard is her name. I really like her because I like the ingredients she cooks with, and a lot of the flavor profiles that she gravitates to are kind of things that I enjoy. So like I just resonate with her style. But also she's from Rocky River, which is like not too far from, it's like the next town over where I grew up.
Oh, nice.
She now lives out in like Colorado, but she grew up in I know where you're from. I feel connected. Oof, surgery. My mama just had surgery this morning.
Is she okay, or?
Yeah, she's great. It was glaucoma surgery. So
Okay.
for obvious reasons, because Dana doesn't like eye stuff, I have very little details other than it was like a 10-minute procedure.
And you said you know that she's okay as well, so.
Yeah, she's doing great. She called me because she was like, I can't really text because, don't want to be like looking at stuff or like
Right.
whatever. She's like, I'm a little sore, but like otherwise you wouldn't really know. And she just has to kind of take it easy. I guess not bending down is a big thing because like you don't want pressure changes on the. I don't know. Something with that.
You also don't want to hear a lot of that.
I also don't want to hear too many details.
Right.
She started like describing it to me, and I was in the car, and I'm like, you know that this is a thing for me, but also I'm driving right now. Oof. Yeah, they are furry little butts. Oh, hello, friends. Baby gorillas. Look at them popping like that. I do that when I'm excited, too. wishing me a speedy recovery anytime I think about the surgery. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's interesting. She has to do both eyes. So this was eye one, and then in a couple weeks she's going to do the other one. But I think this was the scarier one, just not knowing what to expect, and then like the next one, she knows exactly what it'll be like, so it helps.
Yeah. All right. Teeks is wrong, everybody.
But yeah, everyone wish her a speedy recovery so she can get back to playing with her grandbaby. Although they were disappointed. They often take Josephine to the marina in the metro parks, and Josephine will be like, let's go see boats. She's like very into the boats, but now a lot of people are starting to like get their boats in for the winter and covering them up and stuff. And so my mom was like explaining it like hibernation. She's like, the boats get cold and they need a blanket to get cozy. They need to go sleep for a while, and it makes perfect sense to her. She's like, oh, okay, nice and cozy. Makes sense. That's one of her new phrases. She'll like ask to be nice and cozy, and it means she wants a blanket put over her.
Nice. Alright, I will note this dungeon is intentionally dark to make traversing it difficult, and I have moved through it quickly because I have done it before, not because...
Really, matriarch?
Yeah. You should not have come. The evil of this place is too vile to confront, even for solstice warriors.
She looks so sad.
Yep. Before leaving the place, the seed of evil in the depths of the mountain and bound me here so my cubs would remain in close proximity.
Aww.
I'm cursed to watch helplessly as they walk before me on the way to be devoured by the growing dweller of torment.
No wonder you're sad.
With their innocent minds so easily controlled, my pleas will always go unheard. It's all connected to the curse of the place. It's devised as the perfect lair. Remember Rashawn gave us the potion of mind entwining?
Yeah.
Memories formed within the mountain belong to it forever. Solstice warriors came, but whenever they left to get reinforcements, they would remember nothing, and they'd never come back. All they could do was seal the mountain and never return. The light from the eclipse would never touch the dweller to make it vulnerable. Duty to the world at large is paramount. Please seal the mountain again and go. Yep, everybody's gonna fight. That's useless for the fight. The solstice amulet will resonate with the dweller, but the light from the eclipse will never get in here. Except now we've got somebody who can create portals of teleportation with us.
Yeah.
So Sarai is out of the party for the fight, but she's going to be back in spectacular fashion. Let's check this out. We'll go into the depths here.
Ooh, this is Metroid-y down here. Look at this.
It is like a Metroid Axiom Verge vibe, isn't it? It's gross.
It is gross.
I want to see my mom. Poor little baby gorilla. She's over there. Come, we'll take you to her. I feel she is this way. I think you lie. The beep speech is adorably cute, by the way, for the baby gorilla.
Yeah.
So, here we've got the dweller.
Ooh. Yikes.
Time to fight. We're actually going to do this for the first time this playthrough, I think. Is put on the shield. I don't know how big this thing swings for. But we're not going to find out. We need light. Check this cinematic out. I love the anime cutscenes.
I like the stamping with the fists.
Oh, that's right. The fists are individual enemies now. Rats. Okay.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah. It's Giga Gaia from Chrono Trigger.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Oh, actually, I need to swing at the boss that way. And then we actually have to swap over to Sarai and poison this thing so it does not get a turn.
Oh, because it'll be busy healing itself.
No, if you break all the locks, it loses its turn. And usually when there's a lot of locks, it's gearing up to do something big and bad. I can't get a second poison thing in, I don't think, unfortunately. So it's going to get to go. It's just a matter of what I want it to do. That's fine. We'll take one. And then what we're going to do is item roulette and see if we can get a poisonous thing to come out here. Nope. Healing. That's fine. Oh, I'm over worried. I'm just good right now. Here we go. Okay.
I haven't said much about the music today, other than the visual peak. It's very exciting.
Yes. Well, we'll do that shortly, actually. Let's get this thing down. Okay. We've got the ultimate. Let's use it for the first time. We only have Sarai's right now. The others just aren't available, and the New Game Plus doesn't give them to you, because they're all plot-related. This rules, though. Check this attack out. They went all out for the ultimate strikes.
Tin cannon. Amazing. Oh my gosh. There's a cutscene with it. Amazing.
Yeah, they're excellent. Kick that there. And then Moonerang should get us a little bit more here. Unfortunately, there's no fast way around this. It's just going to take a little bit here. Where is my, the pudding? Yeah. Only Solstice Warrior attacks matter in this fight at all. We just have to do as many of those as we can.
I gotta stop yawning. I'm so tired today.
You do have to stop yawning.
It's not that the game's boring. I just am tired. I've been pushing really hard on this Egypt paper, but I'm excited with where.
That's
it's
right,
going.
because you're still working on it yet.
Well, the one nice thing that takes a little bit of pressure off the presentation is it is a chapter. So instead of my normal, like, oh, I gotta cram all this stuff into here, there's that sense of, like, yeah, there's more that's going into a chapter. Like, I can kind of put it off into, like, the ask me later, you know?
Right.
And just try to keep my central points for this talk pretty simple, elegant, you know, leave myself space to play a musical example or two, where I don't feel like I'm just packing everything in.
Yep.
So it's like I have 12 pages at the moment, so that's obviously way more than I need. So it's just like cut that down.
It's a matter of culling for the talk in 2 days or 3 days, not creating at this point for you.
Yeah, and it'll just get turned into a separate Word document, because obviously the stuff that I cut will need to go into the chapter. So.
Yeah.
This is a very great track.
This track is awesome. The Gorilla Matriarch is awesome.
Oh, look at her eyes. Now that she's not sad anymore.
So the Watcher, then the Water. And just like a little kid, watch her water.
Oh my gosh. Watch her water. Watch her water. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
All right, so.
Oh my gosh. Hello! Amazing.
Yes. Here we go.
So you had to use your day-night power on the world map, is that correct?
Yes.
Nice. That's a fun. To not just have the mechanic in these types of levels. Oh, it's a puzzle.
It's not exactly a hard puzzle here.
No. Josephine solved a puzzle yesterday. It was 11 pieces.
Nice.
I was decently impressed, because, like, she was figuring out just, you know, like you do, like, what images go together, and...
Right. Don't forget your rainbow conch shells there.
She's never done one before that I know of, so I was just like, this is cool. You just kind of, like, figured it out. She has a very, like, analytical brain.
All
I sent my
right.
mom a picture, though, because I was like, this is kind of impressive to me. It was a very detailed image.
That long side venture done. Though there is some plot relevance. It turns out that the reason that Erlina and Brugraves betray the Elder is because the 4 numbered baddies reveal the existence of this dweller to them, and they say there's more as well. They lie, right? Like, Moraine doesn't know how many there are. You'll never be done doing this. Which gets pieced together for you directly later, but inferred for you shortly here. In any case, back to the archives we go.
That's what I say whenever I go down to our basement. So chrono triggery.
Yes.
Every time.
Garo, would you throw it at the wall? With all your strength.
It's gonna be like, okay.
Won't it break? I hope so.
They're like, what?
Right.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna be like, okay.
Better hold up your end of the bargain now. No more errands.
Nice.
My code is strict to their rules. First, I may assist in battle, but it is not my place to win for you.
Okay.
As such, I will match your power, but never exceed it.
Okay.
Next, no one other than the four of you can be aware of his true identity as the Immortal Alchemist. Exclusively refer to him as Rashawn, not the godlike title.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to be extra careful around Teeks, though.
Yeah.
Lastly, and most importantly, I'm under no circumstances allowed to fight a Dweller. If a confrontation occurs with the Dweller of Strife, that fight's on you. He can't help. Can't come like this, your robes are all tattered. Maybe clothes that have been decaying for millennia aren't the safest bet. Fair enough. Now check out the new portrait, Dana. He really looks like the shopkeeper now.
Yeah, more and more. But we know there were like multiple time mages in that tower, right?
That's right.
Joins the party. Like immortal alchemist. All right. No big.
Yup. Alright, back to the Vespertine here. I'm also a traveler of sorts.
Just like teeth. That's anime right there.
I like how he's dizzy and I clicked too fast. Did you see his eyes, though?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't tell. Would you mind, though? If you promise not to tell any of my true identity, you can have my story. Yes.
Love the magic book.
Seriously, if I'm ever asked what artifact I would want from a video game at this point, the book that writes its own articles?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Potion guys,
What would
welcome
be
to
extra
stay.
cool, and that this is me, this is academic integrity, Dana here. Instead of it being like the book just does it for me, I'd love if like then I go to read it and I have a memory of having written it. Like it was still mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it like almost like fast forwards that process, so it's in the blink of an eye. That would be so cool.
Yes.
That's often it. It's just like sitting down, taking the time, which is hard to do.
We have more town of Mirth shops,
I know
by
this,
the way.
this theme.
But what we're gonna do is wait until Julian's back to visit that space now. We have this theme to do.
Well, so there was that other messenger theme just before you pulled in. I don't know if it was an island you were close to.
Sailing theme?
No. Go down to like there.
This thing's not usable right now.
Right, but I feel like a musical theme.
I think I just clicked so quickly that it jumped to the messenger title screen.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Because like I thought I heard a different messenger one.
Yeah. Well, let's set up the island here.
And they did say this was set in the messenger world, so I'm glad to finally like get those. Oh yeah.
Yes. 150 years should do it.
Oh, that's right. They said centuries. Good morning.
Cookar, right?
Cookar?
Cooker, right?
Cooker?
Master, have you come to check on my work? As you can see, I have not faltered.
Okay. Loopy speech.
I like the eye.
Thank you.
I know you're not big on eyes. Sorry.
That one's fine. I don't mind the existence of eyes. I just don't want stuff poking them.
No,
Or injuring
Kukar,
them
I
in
would
some
warn
way.
you actually if an eyeball this prominent was going to be poked.
Oh my gosh. I was already traumatized by poor Garl.
The water has risen quite a lot. How long was I asleep? In irrelevant matter, if Forel left a long time ago and his acolytes have lost most of their powers, it won't happen again anytime soon. Your turn. Greetings, friend. Right, we're his friend now.
Yeah.
Can you help us in any way? My main duty is to hold Mesa Island at this precise altitude. Anything I can do without hindering my grip, I will gladly oblige. It is no place to send a friend. It's still where we are headed. I will not send friends into danger. I refuse. I love this. Try again. Greetings, adventurer, now, rather than friend.
Yeah.
Have you met my brothers, Extol and Yeet? I can help you
I
get
love
to them in no
Yeet.
time. Just sail into my mouth and choose a destination. So,
Excellent.
more fast travel around the map is good.
That does sound useful, but for now.
Yeah, remove the barrier on the island. I see. One moment, please. Here it is, Dana. All of the messenger is here now.
Aww. I can't wait to hear all the music.
I think we'll hear the first area here and then be done.
Safe travels, adventurer. So cute.
I will
He's
note
my
at
favorite
this
that we've
point,
encountered of the.
it makes sense to do all the side questing and backtracking that this New Game Plus run on our stream is skipping, because now you can fast travel around readily.
Yeah.
We've got a very cool thing to do,
Autumn
though.
Hill. I'm excited to hear it.
Oh, it's good.
This also feels slower to me.
This one is slower.
Yeah.
What I'll point out, first of all, the new pitch percussion is tremendous. Second, gameplay for gameplay moment, this is Autumn Hills. How good's your messenger memory?
Pretty good. Well, wasn't Glacial Peak fairly faithful, or?
Musically, Glacial Peak is faithful. It's a totally different set of puzzles on Glacial Peak, though. The world map itself, like the traversal, is faithful to the original.
This remix of it is cute. I think it's the leads that are making me call it cute.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little laid back, a little chill. Still has that real warm, rich bass going on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, you have to do all 4 of those?
No, just 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's not as bad.
So just like in the Messenger, you have to deal with the moving platform.
Yep. Adorable.
You jump down. Check this out. Some people say this is a bad spot for a shop, but I bet others will follow in my tracks.
Yes! You know that for a fact if you've played the Messenger. And the shopkeeper, you can have him tell you a story, and the cycle of stories is hilarious.
Yes. One of them is going to become relevant for us next week, actually. It turns out those side stories where he was just bullshitting you, they worked a lot of those into the plot of Sea of Stars at this point now.
I love it.
To fuck with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look through them now.
Oh, right. Let's try that.
Yeah, it helps that I didn't beat in my replay, but I did the first game I tried when I got the OLED Switch because it was a Mother's Day gift, which Joe gave me early, and then told me the other half was a pre-order of Tears of the Kingdom, but it wasn't out yet. So the first game I played on the OLED Switch was the Messenger because I remembered the pixel art being so beautiful. And I was like, I wanted something that really had vivid colors for that.
Yeah, yeah. I bet that was a really good choice, actually.
Yeah, I thought so. To kind of really show me because also with OLED have the true black, there's plenty of that in there too, but it's like also these really vibrant colors.
Yeah.
And so I was playing that in the handheld mode, and I got about up to the point where you unlock the time travel, and I was like, this game's hard.
Yeah, it's super hard.
And I think by that point, Tears of the Kingdom finally came out, and that's kind of what's been in my Switch since. But it does help that I kind of got a refresher on some of the elements. And I've listened to those soundtracks like outside the game a bunch too. I love hearing like the remix already in that game, like from the 8 to the 16-bit style, and now we're getting this other remix. Just delightful.
Yeah. It occurs to me, Rashawn probably needs, yeah, the goods. Is the Cosmic the best? Sure.
Yeah, this one's definitely like noticeably slower.
Yeah. So again, gameplay is exactly the same. Here at this point in the Messenger, there's a brief underwater area where you have to go under, down, and around.
And if I recall, wasn't there a filter pass on that music at that same moment that we remarked on when we played it?
Yes.
So clearly they already had even that thought of like, not that no other games do that or anything, but like that idea of like, okay, this is how we're gonna do underwater.
Right. Similarly, at this point in the stage here, the spiked pillar is there. I love it.
Yeah, so in a way we're getting like 2 new versions, right? Because we have the day and the night version of this in this game.
Right.
On top of having the 2 in the first game. That's cool.
Oh, poison. Actually, if I don't empower it, it should do double poison. Yeah, there we go. When you get Rishon, you unlock a 5th element, by the way. He can do arcane stuff, and that's the extent to which that lock system gets complicated, is 5 elements now. Blunt, sword, no, 6. Blunt, sword. By the way, check out this shot. It's also in the messenger exactly, but it's gorgeous here. Of the tower at the end. Here's how you originally see it. Because, of course, the Fleshmancer's castle is at the top of the mountain. Right, the clockwork castle from the messenger. That's where we're headed. Alright. We'll fight the boss here and then be done for the night. But
Where's Teeks?
oh, Teeks will show up if you create a walking around camping environment. If you just hit rest before a boss, she doesn't show.
Oh, okay.
You know what the boss is, Dana.
Yeah, of course they do. Beautiful.
When the moon shines bright on autumn sheaves, comes forth the abomination of roots and leaves.
When the moon hits your eye.
Let's do it.
Pizza pie. Oh, you have to like make the boss. That's cute. That's fun.
Did I miss one? No, there it is.
Ah.
See you, Andrew.
Bye, Andrew. Have a good one.
Now catch, just like in the messenger, you can't damage it right now.
Yep.
So we'll just build up our power here. Make some orbs. I can't do Moon Blunt unless I had Valera open, so we'll just poison the thing. Here we go. I love that it blinks just like it does in the Messenger, an old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Yep.
We might be able to one cycle this thing on a New Game Plus. We'll find out. Yes, we will.
Nice.
We get the cool visual effect from the messenger on the boss kill.
That sound effect as it destroyed too
Yes.
Reminded me of Mega Man, right?
I think it's actually old Konami games that does that. Oh, look who it is now, though. Brewgraves is here.
Oh, hello.
We'll deal with you eventually, loser. Alright. Here's our last flashback. Now it's the past when Erlina and Brewgraves are the age of the kids. In their own flashback to their past. Wanted to see the headmistress in her battle gear. And again, if you've been catching up with Teaks, you know what's going to happen like we do now. But not every player will do that. Not if you want the twins to play with you later. Of course, Valere and Zale are actual babies for that cutscene.
And tingling is new. See a doctor. That is not a normal thing. So quiet.
Yeah.
That was such a good sound.
The bell sound is really good.
Little hops. They've returned.
And this is the first time you're seeing it, scare quotes, live. But we've been told this story from Moraine's perspective already. When he retires in the village of Mirth. Yeah, he's headmaster now because he's the only surviving person.
I had a feeling that was the case.
I can move the platform now. Maybe she can open the Forbidden Cavern.
Sure beats staying here. Track.
Yep, this is the Forbidden Cavern music here.
Yeah. So good. I don't want to be a hero anymore.
Yeah, Brugrave's never wanted to be
Never
one.
wanted to be one.
Or what I do, Marine always says I'm not fast enough. I just feel awful.
He knows.
I'm hungry. So they go back. They don't
Okay,
have
I was-
Garl, right?
I was scrubbing a little bit. You know how I was like, oh, that sound reminded me of Mega Man.
Yeah.
As the boss was disappearing, it's a little reminiscent of like the mini boss
Yes.
sound in like Mega Man 3 was one of the ones I was looking at.
I don't know if it's exactly Mega Man 3
It
or
isn't-
if
it's not the same, but
I also think it could be a throwback to like a Contra Konami style boss death as well.
yeah. But it's like not the boss. There's like I don't remember if it's like a platform
Yeah.
where you stand on it and it disappears kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like one of those. I don't think it's in 3 though, but I can't remember because I have other music in my head. I like can't place it.
I was wrong, by the way. The twins are some of the people who die in the attacks. Now, 6 months after that, Valere is born. Thanks to the Great Eagle. And 6 months after that, of course, at the Summer Solstice Festival, deliveries on 2 solstices in a row.
Yes, I found it.
I wonder if it's a Ninja
Okay.
Gaiden boss death, actually.
Well, I found the Mega Man thing that it was reminding me of.
Okay.
And it's Mega Man 4, not 3. I had a feeling it was one of the middle ones, but it's Mega Man 4. So it happens in a bunch of different
Like
places.
the
but-
hippo boss or something like that.
Right.
Got it.
Or the snail boss in like Toadman. It has a like it was the specific cadence of the rhythm and not necessarily the timbre's close, but it's not exact.
Right.
I'm so glad I solved that. For
Look,
myself.
now,
Anyway,
time passes there. It's Kid, Garl, and Valere and Zale.
yeah, like a little. Also, he still has his eye.
He still has his eye, yes. The issue is the 2 older people here who eventually we know betray the group stick around because they like Valere and Zale and want to get them out of the Order of the Solstice Warriors. But check out the timing of this. Their next meeting is at dusk, here, they said.
Are they
Fresh
just gonna
start.
kill you? I feel like they're just gonna kill you.
Well, we know what happens, right? Because it's it's these 2 Solstice Warriors who conjure the Blood Moon at the pivotal moment.
And then we made Tears of the Kingdom jokes.
That's right.
Good old Blood Moon.
So, interesting and fruitful.
Which can be welcome when you're like trying to mine Frock's parts or something. Lionel's. Whatever.
Yes. We'll handle everything else, but only Solstice Warriors can conjure a Blood Moon.
Don't do it.
But this world would be destroyed. Not before you get to leave it for a more favorable one.
Yikes. It's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
You know.
We even have ways to make you forget if you want to.
Oh,
Forget and become stronger.
Eternal Sunshine style. As we learned in that film. in the process of the memory erasure, you might realize that you don't actually want those memories erased because they made you who you are today.
That's right. If the Dweller of Woe isn't that powerful, you know we can take it. Of course, the other one no one knows about in a mountain that wipes memories, it's been growing for a long time. The acolytes could be bluffing, but not given the knowledge they had of the matriarch. Plus, it explains the seal. The world is doomed regardless. Moraine never stopped being a mess, and the kids are way too young to be of any help. We'll add a condition they can go and live with you. If they refuse... It's true. The acolytes won't refuse them. But as we know, yep, Brewgrave senses it too. He knows this is wrong. And look at we are. This is the beginning of our perspective on the flashback now. When they're about to head out. Well, we won't. Loser. Alright. What we will do is... I'm going to dunk into here very quickly because it's actually a hidden zone. You notice it's not on the map proper. Like, you kind of have to, like, squint to see there's a pathway to it. All that's there is a sword. But listen to the music.
Much slower.
Right, now it's like a tranquil, calm thing.
I always thought this track slapped in the original.
In The Messenger, this track rules. It's one of the really good ones. Right.
It's like so jumpy. Oh. I like that reharmonization there.
It wouldn't work at speed, but I do like it at the slow tempo.
Yeah.
Oh, just a fun little side area. There's a rainbow shell in this weapon for sale here, and that's it. But I think they included it just as an excuse to make the musical cover, honestly.
Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
Next time, we get to instead press forward into Songshroom Marsh.
Ooh, yeah, this area drove me batty when I was replaying a little bit.
Yes.
Partially because the boss in this area is infuriating.
Oh, see, I thought the spiked mushroom guys were really annoying when I played.
Yeah. I found the boss, I kept like just not quite hitting what I needed to on her movement set.
Is this where you fight like the false messenger person, the other ninja?
Yeah, and she's got like just so many different
things
it's
tough.
that she does. This game really by this game I'm talking about the messenger really puts you through your paces.
Yeah,
This
I feel
one
like Sea of Stars
more
I could
playable.
give as like baby's first JRPG. It's not super easy, but it's not Dragon Quest hard.
It's not unapproachable, yeah.
Yeah, you could do this. If the Messenger is your first platformer, you don't have a flipping chance.
Yeah. Like, is the messenger platforming wise, it's not as hard as like a Celeste, right? But the bosses, I think, are pretty hard.
There are a couple platforming asks in especially the second half of the Messenger once you start time traveling actively that get real hard. Yeah. But you're right that the bosses are the big difficulty there.
Definitely, like, gotta do this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I hope you just kind of get lucky.
I remember even having practiced, and I practiced kind of an embarrassing amount for that particular stream we had Devin Chalu on.
So I can understand it.
The final boss there, took me like 3 attempts on stream.
Yeah.
And I knew what I was doing. It's just
it's
absolute
hard.
brutality through that sequence. This is
Yeah,
not so
there's-
bad. Next week we'll finish up Mesa Island, then we'll be close to the end.
Like, I generally consider myself decent at platforming itself.
Yeah.
But including like a good amount of Celeste.
Yeah.
And Celeste is one you get to, you just try it over and over and over again, and one time you get the timing just right, and then you get
Yep.
through it, and you're in the next part. But the one of the games that is kind of in that realm of like really difficult that I have barely ever made a scratch in is Cuphead. I just really struggle with Cuphead.
It impressed the dickens out of me that Lisa Scoggin, who doesn't play a lot of video games, finished Cuphead completely for that book.
And like was so nonchalant about it, just like, oh well, I needed it for my chapter.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
She needs to write about like Toho next, right? Like
Right. Yeah, like let's just assign Lisa all the hardest games. Maybe she's just a prodigy.
right. In any case, team, next week, if we do any stream at all, it will be a totally non-normal, like, live feed of me and Dana hanging out
In
at
the
the airport. We will not do
we
a
have
normal
a long
stream next
layover
week.
in Vegas on Thursday, and I don't know about Ryan, but like I'm not gonna sit at a slot machine. Like Vegas is basically
No.
like the last place in the U.S. I really want to be. Not much of a draw for me there.
The only
So
exception
we're gonna be
is
killing 10 hours in that airport.
if there was a show that we could go see, I would go do that because it's cheap to do that there. But yeah, gambling is not a thing for me, so. We'll hopefully check in with y'all, but we'll see you in full in 2 weeks after GameStoneCon. We'll be back with stories, I am sure. Yeah. For
we'll
now,
have some
bye,
good
team.
Stories. I'll still have my cute hair. I'm very happy with it. Now
Nice.
that I'm seeing like the Skype call again, I can like see it big. I'm like, oh, it looks good.
Yeah. Don't miss it 2 weeks from now, though. The biggest plot stuff of this game, and the reason I think it's an all-timer, our next stream. Can't say more.
Ooh, nice cliffhanger.
Yes. But it gets good fast from here. In any case, we'll see you when we see you. Bye, friends.
Yeah.